Welcome back to Trees and Utilities. We're live recording Trees and Lines. Thrilled to have Mr. Matt Goff with us, incoming UAA president. Like I was saying off camera a little bit, I'm sitting between UAA royalty over here. You know, I'm the lightweight at the table, but
that's just Phil. That's not me.
Usually referred to as royal pain.
Yeah.
Well, most people know Matt, but for our audience, again, Matt's been a guest on our podcast before, and he's part of the vegetation management leadership team at Georgia Power. A very passionate individual. I think he's got a pretty ambitious agenda for what he's going to try and accomplish. As the UAA president. So we're super thrilled to have you here. Before we get started, I know you had a little bit of a mishap. You want to tell us what happened?
I got out here one day early on Sunday, and I thought I'd just get here early and decompress a little bit and get ready for the conference. And so Monday came around, and I had some events planned that day, some meetings, and I thought I'd go out and run and get my head together. And I'm still thinking about Wednesday when I have to do my president's message and other things. So I was like, I just got to go clear my head. So I'm going to go run. I love to run. And while doing that, I tripped on a piece of unlevel sidewalk, I think, that I wasn't paying attention to, and had a glorious wipeout. It was.
Man. Well, I'll tell you what. Might be a first president's speech tomorrow with the cast on. So you're already setting these standards.
Yes.
So, well, sorry to hear about that, Matt, and hope you get better quickly.
Thank you.
But wanted you to share with us a little bit about what your plans are, right? Like, you've been part of the UAA for some time, in leadership roles. You're taking kind of the big spot. What's without giving away all the secrets that you're going to share tomorrow, maybe you can give us a little peek into like what you plan on kind of accomplishing.
Sure. So I have been involved for quite a while. I started on the board in, I guess, 2019. And the whole time it's very clear that all the volunteers and all the members of UAA are very passionate about our industry. And I think our keynote speaker today called it the rallying up theme, or the rallying up spirit. Everyone in this business cares deeply about what we do. And so as the president and as a board member, that's a lot of trust that I've been given from the membership to me as a representative of them. And the way that I translate that trust into action is to do my part to facilitate the UAA's role as our industry advocate. And that's what I see our biggest calling is to be the advocate for our membership base, not just for electric utility work or DOT or municipal or tree care, but everyone that does this work needs a voice. Yep. And I believe that we can be that voice. And so that's sort of the theme.
The foundation of what you're focusing on.
That's sort of what ties it all together.
Excellent. So, go ahead.
I want to give you an opportunity to back up and introduce UAA. My nephew teaches medical school in Philadelphia, and I'm guessing he doesn't know what UAA is. And we have
Fair.
1,000 or so members that are people that listen in. Give us an idea.
So it's a multidisciplinary industry group. It represents over 6,800 members now in 26 different countries, I believe. Everything from utility work to right-of-way work to railroad clearing, any asset that delivers infrastructure, any of the infrastructure that supports the delivery of energy and other consumables, there are people out there that maintain that. And that's what our industry supports. That's what we advocate for. And then that's our mission statement.
I'm very curious. Phil obviously has held that position of executive director. Even though he hates it when I say this, in my eyes, he's the tree god. He's a legend in the industry, and he's on Mount Rushmore. Sorry, Phil, but it's true. You got to just accept it. What I wanted to ask Phil was, what guidance would you give Matt coming into this role where he can optimize his success?
Yeah, so it's a challenging position because it's 1 year. So you got a year to get, whatever you're passionate about. So I think, Matt, you shared with me what your priorities are. So in a year, you've got to do that. The way you get things done is you have a core of passionate people on the board, and they're the key. So they get bought in and work alongside you towards that goal, you'll be successful.
Yeah.
Right. That's good advice, because I don't think it's reasonable to think that in 1 year's time you can accomplish a big agenda. In 1 year's time, I'm not the one to put it in a ditch, right?
Yeah.
But still, with all the passion and the interest that people have in this industry, what I really want to do most often, and what I've done leading up to this as vice president and president-elect, is listen. What does the membership want us to do? What do they need us to do? What are their concerns? Because if the board is disconnected from that, then we're not advocating, and we're not representing the people that put us there. And so that's my biggest thing, is to listen more. I mean, it's a funny story. My grandmother used to say, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yes, that's right.
It's because you should pay attention twice as much as you talk.
Right.
And
Right.
I think that works well. As Phil mentioned, there's going to be a limited amount of time that you have in the official role, but you also don't have to. And a lot of these people here are leaders without, being on the board.
Yeah.
So there's other ways to do it, but I guess you just try to pay attention to what they're telling you is most important right now, and it's going to change. Right?
Yeah.
And the person coming behind me will have to interpret that message and modify the goals and keep going.
Yeah. I do have a question, because I think it's interesting that the outgoing president, there's a position for the outgoing president. How much of that is how much do you expect that you're going to lean on that individual? Is that more of a figurehead position, or is it actually something that is there to really kind of be mentor and guide based on the experience that person had? How do you see that dynamic playing out?
No, that's a great question. So 2 years ago, as I got onto the executive committee, that question came up: is what is the past president's role, and how can we revitalize that, or how can we make use of that? And so we went back and studied some of the bylaws and some of the other just official language of the organization, and we realized that really the past president isn't a figurehead role. They have an acting role as one of our directors. So when you look on the official hierarchy of the organization, there's only 6 directors, but the past president is the 7th. Starting with Brandon Houston, what we're going to do is one of the 7 standing committees that the organization has, he will be a champion of that committee. And so his role will be to guide the committee, guide the chair people of that committee, help them manage their strategic goals, help them manage what they're trying to accomplish. But then he also removes barriers for them and removes impediments and brings concerns back and forth to the board. And he's working, and the beauty of that is there's 2 new directors who's working with one of the most experienced people on the board. And it's just more face time, more hands-on time to learn how the organization works. So we're really excited about re-energizing that effort and taking something that was on paper always available to us, and making it more impactful. So
obviously Phil has seen the evolution of the UAA, and its continued growth. This is my 3rd year that I've attended the conference. I was told that there are record numbers. And so I know, and I feel very confident that you're going to continue to build on that momentum and do great things. Having gotten to know you, I'm pretty excited for you to have this opportunity, and we definitely look forward to seeing the impact that you're going to make, my friend. I think it's going to be great.
I appreciate what y'all are doing for the industry, and it's really, I really enjoy seeing all the people that come on the podcast and,
I appreciate
listening to that and staying connected with the ideas over time. And that's one way I listen to what's going on.
The fact that we get to carve out a little bit of real estate and have a small contribution to the space and partner with the UAA, and that's actually something that we want to do a little bit more to create more awareness and more dialogue and activate with the organization. So again, very excited. Thank you, my friend. You're a champ for doing this, and we're going to be there to cheer you on tomorrow during your speech. So
thank you.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Thank you.
That's it for this episode of Trees and Lines, brought to you by Iapetus Holdings. If you like the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify. If you have any questions or comments on any of our episodes or ideas for topics or guests, we'd love to hear from you. Please contact us at treesandlines@iapetusllc.com. We'll chat with you soon.